Hello everyone, Kaiser here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Revoltech Bakugiu. And I'm sure a lot of you have already seen a lot of pictures and other people talking about this new Revoltech figure. And when I first saw it, I was really surprised, mostly because if you remember, obviously, I had made a comparison video of 3 Bakugou action figures. And at the time, I knew that there was like news of Bakugou being made in the Revoltech line, but since we hadn't seen anything from that figure yet, I obviously couldn't put it in the video. But now, since we've seen a few pictures and a lot more information about it, I thought, hey, I might as well get my opinions out on it, while also making this video kind of an add-on to the Bakugou action figure comparison. So in that case, while I'm talking about accessories, articulation, stuff like that, I'll also be ranking the figure on where I think it fits within the other 3 Bakugou figures I compared. So with that, let's get into it. First up, we have Sculpting and Painting, and my god, this thing looks amazing. Compared to the other 3 Bakugou figures, this one is definitely the best when it comes to capturing the style and feel of Bakugou. I've heard some people say that the Revoltech figures seem to capture the style of the manga more than the anime, and when looking at this figure, I can definitely see that. I know back then I said the Figma Bakugou was the best in terms of appearance and how Bakugou should look, but I think this one definitely takes the cake for that. I just love how some parts of his costume, like the baggy pants and even his gauntlets, are somewhat bulkier and somewhat exaggerated. I don't know, it just kind of makes him look a bit more threatening in a way. And when it comes to the faces, which is something I'll get a bit more into when I talk about accessories, the faces are amazing. They seem to catch a lot more of Bakugou's characters, way more than all the other figures do. And I like that, especially when it comes to the more exaggerated faces. So yeah, in terms of sculpting and painting, I think it's pretty obvious that the Revoltech is first place above any other Bakugou figure I've looked at. Next up is accessories, and this guy comes with everything that a Bakugou figure should have. Compared to all the other figures, he decimates them in terms of how much he comes with. He comes with different pairs of hands, including thumbs up / pointing hands, you know, to say that I'm the best, you're not. He comes with explosion hands, wide spread hands, fists, and my favorite part is the faces. Since he comes with a normal max face, a screaming max face, and 2 alternate faces with the mask off, which is something that Figma should have done with theirs, but they didn't. But he also comes with a lot of alternate eye pieces so that you can get even more expressions with those 4 faces. He comes with different effect parts for different types of explosions and even his AP shots. He comes with like speech bubbles so you can add like more destruction, like boom and stuff like that. And he even comes with alternate parts to swap out his gauntlets for when he doesn't have them on, which is again something that I wish Figma would have done with their figure. Figma, I need you to take notes on how well Revoltech does accessories for the price that they offer, cause I'm not going to pay over $80 for a Bakugou figure that doesn't come with all that much. I'd rather pay $90 for this Revoltech one, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people are going to do the same. Anyway, sorry about that. What I'm trying to say is that this guy comes with so much, and it's definitely worth it. You're able to get a lot of different expressions and poses out of all these accessories. So I think it's safe to say that in terms of accessories, Revoltech is the first place winner. Next up we have Articulation, and guys, do I really need to say anything about the articulation with this figure? You know how I feel when it comes to articulation and Revoltech. The articulation is great. There's not much I need to. There's not much I need else to say. I mean, it's great. What else can you do? Okay, I'm gonna talk about the articulation now, for real. It's really good as far as I know. Compared to other Bakugou figures, especially the Figma, there's something they do a bit different when it comes to the pants. Now, I feel like I said this before, but when it came to the pants on Bakugou figures, one thing I was worried about is that they would always be a bit hindered considering that they're really baggy. But it seems that Revoltech has done something a bit different. So like compared to the Figma where it's, you know, the standard Figma like leg articulation where it's like a triple ball jointed Y piece that sticks into the waist and then sticks into the legs. It seems like Revoltech has basically done the same thing they did with Midoriya, but you notice that the crotch piece, that's what I'm gonna call it, is sculpted a bit skinnier and looks a bit more like a V or a T. So it seems like they're doing that in order to get a lot more articulation out of the legs whenever you're like kicking them forward or kicking them out, which is something I appreciate because as you can see from the pictures, it definitely allows the figure to get into a lot more of those crazy like acrobatic flying through the air poses that Bakugou was known for, which is something I appreciate. Like again, compared to other figures like Anime Heroes for another example, where it was a drop down hinge, but you couldn't really move the legs all that much because of how hard the plastic was around it. This is definitely a massive improvement in terms of Bakugou's leg movement and action figures. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that, once again, this figure is at the top of the list when it comes to articulation. Finally, we have scale and comparison, and I gotta say I love how he looks compared to the Revoltech Midoriya and All Might. I also love the fact how different all these figures look, yet how well they look together, because none of them really seem out of place. And what I mean is that all of them seem to take on a different style that fits well with their character. With All Might looking well defined and sculpted as a hero should be, Midoriya looking a bit softer but still has that heroic young build, and Bakugou looking more, I guess, edgy and boxier, which fits with his somewhat very destructive nature. But again, he looks pretty well next to them, especially next to Midoriya in some of these shots. I have to say that if anybody were to get all three, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to do, it would probably be the best looking compared to how the other Bakugous look compared to their respective lines. Because again, when it comes to their respective lines that each Bakugou is from, none of them really look bad, but I would say that Figma and Revoltech are probably tied for first, in my opinion. And I'm not sure why. It's just that even though the Figma figure to a lot of people isn't the greatest representation of Bakugou, I still think in terms of scaling and comparison, he looks good next to the Figma Midoriya, and that goes for the same with the Revoltech. And that's gonna do it for this video on my thoughts / update to my comparison video. This is a pretty short video in comparison to the other video I made, but I'm glad I made it. I can tell that a lot of people are going to be enjoying this figure once it comes out, and I know it seems like I really favored the Revoltech, but that's only because I'm going off of what I and what other people expect a Bakugou figure to be. And for the most part, this figure pulls off what people want from a Bakugou figure. Because think about it, the Figma almost gave us that, but it wasn't quite there. But with the Revoltech, it gives you everything that you would want with the Bakugou. It has a really good sculpt and look to it that fits the character very well. It has some great articulation to get some of those, you know, explosive action poses Bakugou has. He comes with a great amount of accessories that fits very well with the character. And he fits in not only with the amazing Yamaguchi, aka Revoltech, Midori, and All Might, but he could possibly fit in well with your other My Hero Academia figures such as Figma or even the Anime Heroes line. And that's all these lists really are. Just my opinion on how well a figure pulls off fixed characters. But again, you don't really have to listen to my opinion. You could still love the Figma figure, and that's perfectly fine. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have some really cool stuff planned for, not November, for February, so I hope you enjoy that. So yeah, with that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.